Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Patrons video today that I'm making for Yida as part of their custom monthly music review. And if we switch over to here, we get ourselves a track, okay, just checking something. Apparently this band is Flesh Juicer. It's also CHTHONIC. This is CHTHONIC, Freddie and Jesse with Turn the Sun Off, the official live video. So we're gonna listen through it from start till finish. I'm gonna hear what we think. We also have lyrics to check through at the end, so we'll do that. But let's go. Let's do it. What do we got? Cool mask. Nice to have the crowd chant in there as well. The guitar lines, I think it's a live take, isn't it? Good on him though. It's a very friendly, like peaceful, upbeat kind of groove to it. Yep, fantastic tone to those drums. Uplifting, anthemic guitar line there, alongside the snare drums. And fantastic vocal harmonies as well. It's just really fantastic and very kind of glorious to listen to. Yeah, excellent. Nice and heavy with the double kicks. They want to kill us all. They want to close the world. They want to kill us all. Shit. I think we're getting into some pretty heavy protest music territory here. And I kind of vibe with that, you know? I think this is the heaviest music I've heard from this part of the world in quite a while. I adore it. The breakdowns, the growls from one vocalist and the cleanish vocals from the other guy, I think with the mask. Fantastic contrast there, but that comes together so nicely, you know? There's a unusual majorish motif to the guitars there that belies the heaviness of the breakdown with the double kicks. Pentatonic scales. Kind of crowds like, sounds like crowd chants, you know? Yeah, discordant guitar line working alongside it, anticipating the tension. And bringing it up again with the guitar solo. There's so much in this track to enjoy. I like the fact there's English in there because it helps someone like me understand what's going on as well without having the vocals. Without having everything literally translated. That's interesting. I think I get what this track is about at this point. I don't actually know if I need to look at the lyrics for this one. I will, but I don't think I need to. If there's new information, I'll show it, but otherwise I think we're good. But the Truman Show is a very, very potent reference. If you know what that is, you know what you know it, you know it. Great job coming off with distortion, having the clean guitars there. Very uplifting and energetic, and the ambiance is splendid. It kind of sounds like it's the end of the world, you know? Great use of a sub drop there. Going back to that root note on the minor key. Smart move. Back to that chorus. And I'm telling you what's happening in real time, but it's just a masterstroke in how to write a track in this genre and keep it entertaining throughout, even if you don't know the story. Reminds me of a lot of the new metal in like the early 2000s. But everyone going like that? Yeah, baby. Nice use of squealy pinches on the guitar as well. Great. Great. Good fun. Good fun. Excellent track. Damn, man. Love it. So we've got lyrics here thanks to Yida for these. The mountain gods are calling us. Are you really listening? The ocean has gone wild this time and is ready to swallow us up. This is basically about saying that the world is ending and everything's going to shit. Especially with the environment, with like climate change and everything like that. Because a lot of like corporations and people that are polluting the planet, they don't consider us in their plans. They just want to continue making money, right? But the problem with that is that there might not be a world for people to enjoy. And I can imagine for musicians in this generation, it's especially frustrating because they're going to be old by the time these people who are making all this pollution are very much passed on, you know? What do you want to exchange this time? One can be penniless, but not a traitor to one's own will. Damn, dude. Because they're talking about, you know, we're getting the Oscar for Best Actor and Actress. So this is the conclusion of my review of this track from CHTHONIC, Freddie and Jesse, the Turn the Sun Off. I think this track is about a generation that's just really furious about the fact that the world is going to crap with climate change and stuff like that, and that the mountains and the seas and everything like that is fighting back against us. And they're talking about basically people being traitors to their own kind and saying, even if you're broke, you can at least have your morals and have everything sort of like set up so that you're in the right direction with that and not kind of screw over your fellow human. I think that's a wonderful message. I can understand why people are so pissed off and so passionate about it. I think there's a lot of people that'll be able to relate to this, and I think it's a fantastic track. I think that, you know, with what we've done with Turn the Sun Off, I think that the vocal style there with those kind of rapped sung vocals and then the growls from the other singer were nice couplings and pairings there. It had that kind of metalcore kind of vibe to it, that genre from like the late 2000s, early 2010s, and I think that it carried through really well today. I'm glad it's still going. It has had a bit of a revival recently, as I think people are kind of, you know, coming back to it and realizing it wasn't so cringy after all. And I think that the combination of the vocals with the proficiency of the growls and the technique there, as well as the charisma of the performance from the singers involved, makes for a really interesting and entertaining listen. I think that in regards to the track itself, at 550, it is not a short track, it is long. But I think that they made good use of that through the guitar playing. We had like really interesting like lead lines there alongside the power chord sections and the chorus parts and the breakdown, and a low tune kind of drop riffs with the power chugs and everything like that, with some pinch harmonics sprinkled occasionally. There was a lot of range on the guitar parts, the bass player kind of sticking around with those root notes and rolling around that lower part of the fretboard to kind of give a bit more support in that area. I think that the drums as well were sensational. Lots of different sort of 16-note drum fills there, with the 16ths kind of coming in there with the double kicks, and lots of fun cymbal work as well. It was very supportive of the overall groove of the track, instantiated by the rhythm guitars and everything like that, but at the same time it never overstayed its welcome, and it had some bits of flourish as well, so I'm glad that they found that balance there from a percussion perspective. I think that what we had going on with the with everything there, like with the motif itself, outside of the individual instrumental performances, the song sounded like it was the end of days, like it was crying out for like another chance or for things to change, or for people to be honest and express themselves like that. There was a heaviness to the tone of the instruments overall, but it was still nonetheless very kind of like positive and optimistic, and kind of it had that kind of energy and like that need for change and that shift in urgency to it. So I think that the theme worked well with what the vocals were doing, what they were talking about with the lyrics, and I think that it also worked well with the vocal style and the genre of music. I think that everything was stylistically coherent and cohesive, great sense of synergy, and I don't think there was a note out of place. The video was pretty dope as well. And I think finally the studio recording, mixing and mastering, I'm glad that the guitarist didn't overplay. I think that none of the instrumentalists in this band overplayed their instruments or added too much to it. There was a nice sense of connection between the different musicians in this band. There's great chemistry between them, and I think that they were very considerate of each other. And it was more about the vibe as opposed to showing off how well they could do things. But yeah, the studio recording, mixing and mastering, the production was great. I liked the tone of the vocals. The guitars sounded nice and bright and crisp. The vocals were nicely notched in there with a fair bit of compression there to keep, especially the growls in time, but that was absolutely fine. The bass was nice and controlled in that low end. The drums with the cymbal parts shimmering, and the lower sort of snare and tom parts and kicks kind of like notched in their own individual spectrums were great. Like there was a very professional, commercial grade live performance there. The guitars were nicely tracked in the stereo field, though, so nice and wide. It was a full sounding track with no weird resonance frequencies in the frequency spectrum, and the leveling of the mix was great as well. There were no sort of weird rises there. There was dynamic range as well. Things did come down a little bit, but they were still nice and loud without pumping. And this is my SP Patrons video, my review of CHTHONIC. Freddie and Jesse Turn the Sun Off, or should I say, Flesh Juicer. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please go show us some love via the various social medias and the YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as either hell more than ever with all the great stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you in the next SP Patrons video. Spiderhands out.